channel. Back on the Z650 this week, or this episode. Finally got the Skylift back, which is fantastic. So the bike's up, gives me a lot more, well, eases on the back as well. I need to get the rear wheel out. I need to try and fit the new exhaust system, well, the original exhaust system, back in, and then just start giving things a bit of a clean up, bit of a tidy up. It's been obviously standing for some time. But I say the first one is get this rear wheel out, get the tyre off, get the rim locks in place, because it's just, as soon as you pump it up, it just goes back down again because it just can't lock into the rim. But no, as I say, nice to have the Skylift back in. So let's, well, for people that haven't seen the Skylift, I'll give you a quick show of that, and then we'll crack in and get some work done. Right, so there it sits on the Skylift. It's on the highest setting, so it's quite a good height. It's locked in position in the top setting. But yeah, so the seat height, as you can see, is roughly sort of chest height. Hope you saw that, because obviously I can't spin round. But no, it just needs a good clean up of where it's all been sitting. As I say, I need to get this out. Replace a few of these bolts. Best time to do it is when it's up here. It's easier to work on. Don't worry, that oil isn't from this bike. It's just a spare container I've got. But there is a slight oil leak underneath. I need to go under and have a look. So it does give me a lot more room for manoeuvres. But no, happy to have the Skylift back. It is expensive investment, but absolutely brilliant, because obviously when I'm not using it, I can take it apart. But again, this is another thing that I can bring up in our Shop Chat Monday videos. I say, expensive piece of kit, but absolutely fantastic. I mean, I actually put all the bikes have been on here so far. Hayabusa has been on, the ST's been on, the Vara's been on, obviously the Z650's on. Obviously, the only fitting kit I have is the one for the Varadero, and then just the basic, which come with the kit anyway, and it seems to work, just working on the swing on pivot bolt. Right, so let's get this wheel off. Right, so I'm just starting to undo all the rear section so I can actually get this wheel out and get these rim locks in. So I'm noticing that the actual brake bar hasn't fared too well, so I'm going to have to re-clean that back up, probably paint it black. Also replace these adjuster nuts. And all this needs a real good clean up again. I mean, some of it was my own fault. I didn't actually, like I say, I just polished it up, put it back on. I should have used a Belgium alu, which sort of creates a sheen cover and protects it. So that was my own fault, so I give myself a bit more work to do. But as I say, I'm just starting to unbolt now. Get all this out, and I can pull the wheel out. Right, so that's it out. Stripped it down, put it on the bench. As you can see, this needs a real good clean up. I'll actually coat it in Belgium. Give this a go as well, and replace these were some of the nuts that I actually, or bolts that I actually cleaned up, but they didn't survive too well, so I'll have to get replacements for those. Everything else doesn't seem too bad. So all I've got to do now is pop this tyre off, and insert the rim locks. Right, there's one there, one there. So probably what I'll have to do is remove the tube and put the tube into this one and have a rim lock here and a rim lock here. As I said, many people have said, why do you need rim locks? Are you going off-roading? The only problem is this is an original rim. At the time I didn't have the finances for another rim. The rim actually wasn't that bad, so I was able to clean it up and then re-spoke it, as you saw in the earlier video, but obviously forgetting the rim locks. With a new rim like I've got on the front, the rear rim, I wouldn't need rim locks because of the shape of the rim. I think it's slightly different in profile, so the tyre just fits straight on, where the old original rims actually have the 3 holes in the rim. So I hope that answers questions of why I need rim locks. If you're using an original rear rim, you will need rim locks. So I ain't going to bore you with taking off a tyre, putting the rim locks in, moving the tube around. I'm just going to get that done. I'll do that off camera and get that sorted and inflated, and then that'll be ready hopefully to go back in the bike after I've cleaned up and refurbed all these parts and find new bolts. But we're going to move on to actually trying to get the exhaust on. So we're going to see how that goes. Right, so I've made a start on the exhaust. These aren't the correct brackets because they only fit in one hole, but it's actually just to get it in place. Unfortunately, I don't have a great deal of space at the back because obviously the Skylift is holding the swing arm up higher than it should be, but one is in place. Off camera I did have a go at the rim, managed to get the rim locks in, but I was hoping to save some money by using the original rim, but it's had it. So even using rim guards, it started taking chunks. So I'm going to have to put this to one side, get another rim, strip this one down, get the tyre off, re-spoke on a new rim which doesn't need rim locks. Unfortunate, but that's part of the trials and tribulations of a project when you're starting doing stuff by yourself and learning as you go. So I've just loosely put that in place. So I need to get the other pipe out. I also dug out the rear footrest bracket, so that's actually now in place. So I need to get the other pipe. I've got some OE gaskets. I now have the other clamp. The gentleman managed to find it who's helped me out with the link pipe. Yeah, it's just as many of you find when you're in the garage and you're doing stuff, it's just some days things just never quite go the way you want them to, and everything takes about 5 times longer than what you expected. So I've managed to get the bracket holding it. So now we'll get the other pipe, get that in place. I just wanted to make sure that it all goes in place. Obviously I've still got the collets to fit inside, but hopefully we'll be back on track. Right, I was just about to, I pulled the gaskets out, which one actually fits second. Actually fits nicely when it's not stuck to my thumb. One of the gaskets fits up in there, and then the pipe fits into that and then feeds up. Now when I bought this exhaust system, the gentleman did say that he wasn't sure whether these were the correct outer pipes. And they're not. They fit into the head okay. But I've actually got a bolt that one looks like it's sheared and been welded. So my question at the moment, are these the correct pipes and I'm doing something wrong, or are these the wrong pipes and I'm going to have to look for 2 extra outside pipes? As I say, I knew up front the gentleman wasn't sure, but he actually found them, put them in the exhaust, and they did fit, which they do. But the thing is, it's the actual curve up to the engine doesn't. So today's episode has kind of started off okay and then got worse and worse and worse. I'm now going to have to rebuild a rear wheel, get the tyre off of the old wheel, and now looks like I'm going to have to go searching for 2 outside pipes, originals for a 77 B1. But it still doesn't stop me from actually mounting the other pipe on the other side, get the link pipe actually in place so I can actually see how this exhaust looks on the bike. I say I've made up some brackets, that old pieces of metal that I had, just to hold it. But like I say, these things are meant to test, and it's all part and parcel of the learning process and building. So let me get the bike moved, turn around slightly so I've got a bit more space on the other side, and we'll get the other pipe out. But let me know if anybody knows about these down pipes. Are they correct? Well, I don't think they are, but unless I'm doing something wrong. But let me know in the comments box below. I really appreciate it, as always. Right, let's get this turned round. Right, as you can see now, the bike is back on the floor. Some days you just don't have a good day, things don't go right. Obviously I had the rear wheel out. I was just moving it round so I could actually get the exhaust in on this side, and it fell off the skylift. So I was kind of stuck. Managed to get one of my spare wheels in. Unfortunately it has caused damage to the frame. It's broken a side panel. There's a dent in the tank. And my pride's a little bit bashed as well. Yeah, loads of scrape marks where it fell. Some damage on this side as well. No, it hasn't gone well today. But some days you have days like this, things just don't go properly, they don't work out, you have bad days. So I'm going to have to start looking at repairing the damage, the scrapes and scratches. Yeah, scratched frame there. I'm going to have to start going through and looking at all the damage and repairing what's happened. I mean, it's probably my fault. Skylift isn't actually meant for a Z650. I've had it on here lots of times. So that is, I've taken it apart for now. So that is my own fault, my own risk. I think it got caught on a piece of the, because obviously this is like a rubber matting. I think it got caught on a lump, and as I tried to swing it round, it let go. So I'm going to call it a halt for now, and I'll start looking at the damage. I'll do that off camera. Right, so apologies for the comedy of errors in that video. As like I said, some days things just don't go right, and today was one of those days. Obviously it's caused me more issues now, because now I've got a ton of damage to go and deal with. But I'm going to continue on with that, and hopefully when you join me again, well, for the Z650 I should be back up to where we are. Like I say, if anybody can give me some clarification on the original downpipes, the ones I have, as I say, when I bought them the gentleman was like, I'm not sure if these are correct, but that's what come with it. They do actually fit into the head, but they've got some sort of like welded nuts in them, and that's quite large. I actually can't get the actual gasket at all, so unsure if they're correct, but let me know. It's like both the outside pipes are exactly the same. Actual fact, no, yes they are. Both the same, but I just can't get them to actually fit. So just some clarification on that if possible, then I know that I've got to actually go and look for 2 other pipes for an original system, which should be fun. But at least I have the original exhaust. Next episode, back on the Z1000. We may stay on the Z1000 for maybe the next couple of weeks, see how it goes with how fast I can get things repaired and get this back up to where it should be. Obviously I've now got a rear rim to sort and re-spoke the rear tyre, the rear rim again, so I'm going to have to order a rim and then undo all them spokes, get the tyre off, undo all the spokes and start again. So maybe I should have just bought one in the first place. But as I say, any comments in the comments box below, I appreciate your feedback, appreciate your comments. As I say, I apologise for the video, these things do happen. Some days, I've seen it on many people, they just have a bad day, and these things happen. Not every day is perfect in the garage, and not every day is perfect on YouTube. Things happen, accidents happen, mistakes happen. All part of the growing, learning process, and that's what I need to experience. So there are links to other videos at the end of the video. Appreciate all your feedback, all your support. Thanks for watching. Join me again next time. Cheers. Bye.